In the gym, progress is predictable because there's a system. Progressive overload. You increase the weight, the sets, the reps, the tempo in small increments, and the body adapts. Life works in the same way, but most people treat personal development randomly, but not as a progressive system. Today, we'll break down progressive overload in real life. Today, we're breaking down how exactly to use progressive overload in real life, using the same exact logical principles that you already use in your training. Section 1. What progressive overload means outside of the gym. In lifting, progressive overload is a gradual increase in stress so that the body can adapt without breaking down. In life, progressive overload is gradual increases in responsibility, discipline, skill, or discomfort so your mind adapts without burning out. The mistake most people make is they go from 0 to extreme overnight. True progressive overload is controlled, consistent, and measurable. The question isn't how do I grind harder? The question is how do I increase difficulty slightly each week without collapsing from the system? That's life progressive overload. Section 2, Principle 1. Increase volume. In strength training, increasing volume means increasing total work. In strength training, increasing volume means increasing total work. More reps, more sets, more weight. In life, increasing volume means doing more repetitions of productive habits. Here's some examples of volume overload. Reading 5 pages, then 10 pages. Learning a skill for 10 minutes, then 15 minutes. Journaling for 3 minutes, then 5 minutes. Practicing a language for 10 minutes, then doing 12 minutes. Running 1 mile, then running 1.1 miles. Volume overload is the simplest and safest way to grow. The logic is pretty straightforward. Select a productive trait that you want to strengthen, establish your baseline, then increase the frequency or duration for 10% to 20%. You then hold that for a week and increase it again. You do not increase aggressively. Too much too fast leads to inconsistency. Volume overload is reliable because it respects skill adaptation. Section 3, Principle 2. Increase intensity. In the gym, intensity means more weight or more effort per rep. In life, intensity means doing a harder version of the same task. Examples: reading more complex books, coding harder problems, learning faster running paces, handling more challenging work tasks, having more direct conversations, learning more difficult parts of a new skill. Intensity overload works because it increases demand without increasing time. The rule is, do the same task at a higher difficulty, not a longer duration. For example, if you run 1 mile at an easy pace, an intensity overload would be run the same mile, but 10 to 15 seconds faster, or maintain the same pace, but at a higher incline. Intensity overload grows your limits, but without overwhelming your schedule. Section 4, Principle 3. Increase duration. Duration in training means longer sets, longer rest pauses, or longer workouts. In life, duration overload means longer periods of consistent effort without distraction. Examples: going from a 25-minute focus block to a 35-minute focus block, journaling 5 minutes, then 10 minutes, running 20 minutes, then 25 minutes, learning a skill for 30 minutes, then 40 minutes. Duration is not the same as volume. Volume is total work. Duration is the continuous length of the work session. Duration overload improves mental endurance. It trains your capacity to stay focused and resist the urge to quit early. This is essential because most people fail not from a lack of skill, but from a lack of sustained concentration. Increase duration modestly. If you jump from 20 minutes to 2 hours, you'll probably fail. Increase by 10 to 20% as a rule. Section 5, Principle 4, increase complexity. In training, you can go from machines to dumbbells to barbells to advanced variations like Olympic lifts. Complexity increases demand without increasing volume or intensity. In life, complexity is upgrading the challenge level of your tasks. Examples: going from packing your lunch to a full weekly meal plan, from a simple budget to long-term investment planning, from walking to a structured running program, from passive learning to active creation, from basic YouTube videos to edited long-form content. Complexity overload expands your capability. It increases the skill requirement, which forces adaptation. The rule is, once a task feels mechanically easy, increase its complexity. Complexity overload prevents stagnation. Section 6, Principle 5. Reduce rest. Eliminate waste, not sleep. In lifting, reducing rest time increases density. More work in less time. In life, reduce rest means eliminating unnecessary downtime, not reducing sleep. Clarification: this isn't about sleeping less. Cutting sleep is the fastest way to sabotage progress. Reduced rest means removing wasted time, not essential recovery. Examples of waste reduction: cutting social media in between tasks, reducing procrastination between activities, eliminating pointless browsing, transitioning from one habit to another without delay, using timers to enforce task switching. Reducing rest increases efficiency, not exhaustion. You're tightening your schedule, but not burning yourself out. Section 7, Principle 6. Add responsibility, the heavy weight of life. This is like the life equivalent of putting more plates on the bar. Adding responsibility means taking on new tasks, harder challenges, more leadership, more ownership, longer-term commitments, bigger goals, higher expectations. But the key is controlled load, not reckless load. Examples: taking on one extra responsibility at work, managing a simple project, helping a younger athlete or coworker, studying for a certification, planning your meals consistently. Responsibility overload improves your ability to carry more pressure without collapsing. It can be one of the most transformative overload methods, but this one you have to scale very carefully. Section 8. The 4 rules of safe progressive overload in life. To avoid burnout, you must follow these rules. Rule number 1. Increase one variable at a time. In training, you don't increase volume, weight, and sets simultaneously. In life, you don't increase duration, tasks, remove rest, increase intensity, all at once. Choose one overload variable per week. More than that can lead to burnout. Rule number 2. Use the 10% rule. Increase the difficulty by 10 to 20% and never 50 to 200%. Going too fast ruins consistency. The goal is sustainable improvement, not explosive effort. Rule number 3. Track your progress. If you don't measure it, you can't call it progressive overload. Track your minutes of focus, your miles run, pages read, skills practiced, responsibilities accepted. A simple notebook works. Tracking creates awareness and accountability. Rule number 4. Deload when necessary. In the gym, you deload to recover. In life, deloading prevents burnout. Deloads involve reducing intensity, reducing duration, reducing mental load, or continuing habits at a lower intensity. Deloads maintain consistency while giving your mind time to adapt. A deload isn't laziness. A deload is strategy. Section 9. How to apply progressive overload. Section 9. How to apply progressive overload to key life areas. Here's some practical applications for real life. Number 1. Discipline. Start simple with this. Wake up at the same time every day. Clean your space, every day. Stick to a reading habit. Then you can progressively overload by adding one new discipline habit at a time, tightening up your schedule, reducing wasted time, increasing the difficulty or duration of habits. The thing is, discipline improves through consistency, not intensity. Another area you can improve in is running or cardio. Cardio overload is extremely measurable. Examples: go from running 1 mile to 1.1 miles in 20 minutes, then go to 22 minutes. Go from a 9-minute 30 pace to a 9-minute 20 pace. Increase your incline from 2% to 3%. Add 1 extra cardio day per week. Cardio progressive overload increases physical stamina and mental toughness. Another area that you can improve in is finance. You can start basic with tracking expenses, creating a simple budget. Then you can progressive overload by increasing your savings rate, learning investment basics, reducing unnecessary spending, earning small additional income. Finance overload is gradual, logical, and quantifiable. Progressive overload isn't about just doing more for the sake of doing more. It's about strategic, measurable improvement. You grow by increasing volume, increasing intensity, increasing duration, increasing complexity, reducing waste but not sleep, adding responsibility, tracking everything, and deloading when appropriate. Progress isn't random. Progress is engineered. Just like strength, life improvement is earned through intelligent overload. Thanks for watching, and if this gave you structure, subscribe for more content on discipline, logic, and building the highest and best version of yourself.